Hello, my name is Andrea Nelson. I'm a Posse scholar and I'm going to Bucknell University, Posse 9. Today I have the pleasure of meeting Mr. Greg Stock. He's from Chicago, Illinois. So first I'd like to ask you, what are your first impressions of the Anacostia neighborhood?
It seems, and in my bus ride here, it seems maybe on the poorer side, but not as poor as other neighborhoods I've seen in other large cities. So maybe kind of a lower middle class, lower class, if that makes any sense. But,
Right.
yeah, definitely a working class neighborhood, I would say.
Right. Thank you.
A few boarded up buildings, but by and large, things seem pretty well kept.
Right. Okay. So what more do you want to learn about Anacostia?
I came to the museum today because I was hoping to learn more about the history of the neighborhood and the history of African Americans and their contributions to the neighborhood and to Washington, D.C. as a whole. So I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about that before I leave today.
Okay, thank you so much. And last, you compare your neighborhood. I know you say you're actually from Champaign.
Right, but I've lived in Chicago, and this is this reminds me more of a Chicago neighborhood. I would say Chicago seems more depressed than a lot of the neighborhoods in Champaign or in Chicago rather, than I see in Anacostia. So I think that in Chicago I see a lot more boarded up houses or unkept, weeds growing and, need to be mowed and more people kind of standing around, whereas in Anacostia so far, it seems to have a little bit more going for it. It doesn't seem quite as poor as similar neighborhoods in Chicago, for example.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Enjoy your time.
Okay, thank you.